if you just have a lot of yes people around you, no one ever is going to call you out for something wrong that you did. And right now I feel like we live in a time where if you're against me, then I don't want you on my side. Someone coming down on you for something that you're doing wrong, it's out of love. But our pride doesn't let us see it. I think for me, I want to validate people because I get it. In my context of how I grew up, why I ran away from submission was because I didn't feel that the ministry had my best interest at heart.
What did you feel? What did you feel they had? What do you think their interest was?
It's their way or no way. Either you abide by how they are or you don't at all. And it took me a long time, and it's still taking me to understand and say, I know and I forgive you anyways. I don't want the sun to set on my anger because I don't want pride to be present in me. At times, all you can say is, like what Jesus says, Father, forgive them for they do not know what they do.
Right.
And try to be better and understand that once you get in these spiritual relationships and get under spiritual authority, and you have even, spiritual parents or people around you that care for you, that changed the game. Because now when that correction comes, it's out of love. Hey, I don't want to see you do that because I don't want to see you get hurt. It's like even like how God places limitations on marriage, like or certain things. Hey, I don't want you to do that because I don't want you to fall into that. And so I feel that if you're a person that's in that, make sure the circle around you isn't just saying yes to you, but they're telling you what you need to hear, even if it's something hard, even if it's something that's hard to listen to.
Right.
Because those hard conversations and those hard moments and that person correcting you is the ones that are going to help you grow.
Yeah.
And I would encourage you, if you've been in a place you're hurt and you're like, that just wasn't the church for me, leave it at that. That wasn't the church for me. That wasn't where I'm supposed to be. And that's okay. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop going to church. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop looking for authority. It just means I'm looking for a transfer, a transfer for where I need to be. And also giving grace to the people who did it and say, I forgive you anyways. Because I don't want unforgiveness or something unloving to be found in me. Because honestly, it only hurts you. When you hold on to unforgiveness, it only hurts you. It hurts no one else. It hurts you because it stops you and from what God has called you to do. It's like you want to find no areas where you can be, where you can't say a message. How can I preach about forgiveness if I haven't forgiven somebody else? How can I preach about not being offended if I'm offended from people in my past? How can I preach about and the Bible is all about being loving. How can I preach about being loving and loving God's people if I'm constantly rebuking and going down on God's people and saying, hey, I really don't need you? Jesus could have done the same. He could have said, you guys are a bunch of sinners. I don't need you guys.
Yeah.
But instead he says, I'll die to myself in order for you guys to be alive in me. He was willing to put himself down in order for the church to rise up. And I don't know if in our society, there's a lot of people that are willing to say, I'm willing to submit in order for the church to grow. As much as online we talk about revival, I hope that people realize this. Revival is not going to happen without the church. You can keep preaching revival. You can keep talking about revival. You can keep praying for revival. But John 17 tells us that Jesus prays for unity. So what is the enemy going to use? He's going to use division to break us up and to keep us from, the people shall know us by the way that we love. Here's the question. Now Christians on social media, are we known because we love or are we known because we hate? Are we known because we support and we take care of people, or are we known because we're offending people? So those are just like the places where I would land on with that.